bucks. One of them was our target. Another one should be a target, but he's broke up. And a third one is a nice 9-point that I really don't want him to shoot. It needs another year. And then a bunch of scrubs. But the target buck, he was all through this food plot. He actually was too close. He was at 5 yards. Walked right in front of the blind, and we had to watch him down through the see-through mesh. And then, as soon as he was going to get out in front of us, he took off running and ran the does into the thicket. After that, he stayed out a ways, and when he did finally come in to the water hole, which is 35 yards, it was too dark. And so we packed it up. Oh, that was the night before last. I'm sorry, that wasn't last night. That was the night before last. So he didn't want to go last night. So I hunted West Virginia. So we're back tonight. We've got 1 or 2 more days of what I call decent weather for him. And then the cold front comes in on Thanksgiving Day. And it gets real cold. But anyway, long story short, we got set up in the blind here about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and it's 3:30 now. Probably about 2:30 or 3, our target buck crossed the food plot at about 80 yards, and then another nice 8-point, and they went into this thicket right over here behind the water hole. And then a doe and a fawn came out, fed in the plot, and the doe got spooked and ran back in. I'm hoping here about 4:30, he comes back out. It's kind of warmed up a little bit today and it's been sunny, and he didn't come to water. I'm hoping the first thing he does if he gets up out of his bed is come to water and see if Mason can't make a good shot on him. We'll see what we can do. Stay with us.
So I wasn't able to get any footage of a doe. She ended up stepping out of the thicket into the food plot, acting really nervous, kept looking behind her, and then all of a sudden she took off running down over the bank. And we were able to watch and see right behind her ended up being Mason's target buck stepping out of the brush. So I ended up cutting down a bunch of the footage here, but this buck ended up standing for 10 minutes straight, just surveying the situation. It really caused a lot of stress and anxiety for Mason and I before you could finally tell that he was committing to walk further into the plot or to the water hole and give Mason a shot.
was sitting here kind of laughing because just a little bit ago, Mason was doing something. And I said, well, was that exciting? He's like, yeah. And I said, well, I could hear your breathing getting hard and heavy. He's like, ah. Well, let me tell you, he was a wreck on this one. Now, you were in a bad position, which makes you feel even more shaky. But I could hear his breathing. And the crossbow was teetering, doing this number. So guys, hey, this is what it's all about. Mason's being, patient. I know he is bored, but I think he just dropped himself another beautiful buck here in Ohio. So what we'll do is get situated and head over there. Anything else you want to say?
No. Patience.
Yeah.
That's all it really takes, patience.
And which deer did I tell you that I said? Again, it's about patterning these bucks. Which deer did I tell you that I've been seeing the most come through this food plot in the water hole?
That one.
Our target buck. And again, I think that's what he was going to do. I told Mason earlier, I said, that buck is going in there to bed. And I really feel that when he gets up, he's going to come into this water. It warmed up some today. The sun's been out. I have to think that it's been beating on him some. And that's one reason why I think he didn't pay much attention to the doe. And I think he was walking to come right around into the water like he did 2 nights ago when we couldn't get a shot. All right, let's get situated and we'll come back to you guys. Hey, that's what it's all about, guys, making memories. All right, Mason, so we're gonna go over and check for blood, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want to take us over to the shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shot him around this area.
Let's take a look. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see any blood?
So Mason's never had an opportunity really to track a deer, so I wanted to use this one as one for him to go ahead and track. The blood trail was very easy to follow with it being a double lung hit. And again, just a learning opportunity for him about the process of how you go through and doing it.
He's over here. Here. The blood's over here, Mason. Stop. You stopped right here. Okay. You need to walk easy. I don't like how far this deer's going. Take your steps easy.
Hey, well, good morning, folks. It is the morning after. Mason was able to harvest this beautiful 8-point last night in Ohio. We just got done weighing him. He field dressed 180 pounds. And again, this is a rutted out buck. So I'm sure, he's probably well over 200 normal. And I know I've laid eyes on him a few times that he is a huge bodied deer. We got some great footage. Mason made an awesome shot, but we'll just catch you up on where we were last night when we lost you or let you go there with some of the tracking footage. We ended up going about maybe 100 yards, and the blood still was good, but it started getting, I thought, a little thin. And we felt like we heard him crash, but again, from my experience, you know, again, if he's dead in 5 seconds, he's going to be dead in 2 hours. So we took advantage of it, went ahead and backed out, marked our blood trail, went back to the cabin, had some lunch, watched a little bit of Harry Potter, and came back up. And it was funny, and it was the same way with my big Ohio deer. We went probably another 10 yards, and it was just chaos of where he must have had some of his last moments. And then another 10-15 yards, and there he was piled up. So, you know, we didn't end up going maybe 30 yards or something like that, and there he was laying, and that's fine. But as you can see, just a really nice, beautiful 8-point. I'm not saying he's giant, but you know, this is a great deer. Mason's second deer ever. You know, he killed a huge deer last year in Ohio on our first sit, opening day.
Yeah.
Yeah, opening day, and that deer field dressed 205. And so he's really been able to knock down. He put on a perfect shot with the crossbow, extremely patient. That deer was in the plot. You know, I'm not going to show all the footage, but he was in there standing, monitoring for 10 minutes before he went ahead and decided to go ahead and start walking. And Mason put on a great shot there at 30 yards. But, you know, guys, I hope you enjoyed the footage there. You know, I can't say enough about Mason. You'll see him and I both were tore up. As you saw in this footage probably of him shaking, me shaking, and he kept his composure though. You know, I kind of let him relax. He was hunched over and semi-squatted on that crossbow, and you could tell he was just getting very unstable. So stood up for a few seconds there, or minutes, squatted back down, and was locked in great. So just very blessed, very fortunate. His second deer ever, you know, the 2 in Ohio, as we said. And first one was shot on his first evening sit, and that was last year. This year's deer was on our second evening sit. So to me, it's again just the benefits of having the right kind of structure and habitat out there for the deer. We're sitting over top of our Antler King honey hole food plot, and also 2 trophy clover, and they just decimated it. And they came in eating on this plot like crazy here late season, because it's November, what, 27th today, so I think you shot him on the 26th, something like that. I say late season, but you know, they're already done pretty much rutted out. They're trying to recover some, get ready for the second rut. So anyway, that's the thing with having, you know, I got the water hole and I got the food plot, and that really brings in and holds the deer. And so anyway, super pumped. Mason, congratulations.
Thanks.
Guys, hope you enjoyed the footage and the video. Anything else you want to say?
No.
No, you said it last night. What did you say was the key? Patience?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because you just gotta wait for them to come in. Most of the time they don't come in till late. Sometimes they'll come in the morning to get something to eat, but it's mainly in the evening.
Yeah, so with this food plot, he's right. You know, I don't normally sit this food plot. A friend of mine actually messaged and said, oh man, you should have been sitting there the other morning. And my food plots just aren't normally a morning sit. Now, I've been sitting on a food plot in West Virginia during this gun season, and I've had so far some good luck. But again, it's late season, so it's a little bit different, I guess. But he's right, you know, it just starts lighting up in the evening. Matter of fact, we end up seeing on our first sit the other night, we saw 7 different bucks. And then last night, we end up seeing him come through, another nice 8, another nice 8, and then maybe a scrub, and then eventually he came back out. So again, several different bucks, a lot of doe. So anyways, hey guys, hope you enjoyed it again. If you would, like the video, subscribe to the channel, always trying to bring you new content, and we'll see you on the next one.